Welcome back, party people in the house. This is For Our People, January 2nd, 2020. We were supposed to be here on Monday like we usually do, but we didn't, and I feel like we got a good reason. So, this is For Our People. This is the Breonna Taylor episode. Every moment of every day is a good day to arrest the murderers of Breonna Taylor. I almost got triggered the other day. I'm on a sports blog, and they're talking about a player who got in trouble at 2 in the morning, and one of the commenters said, "Well, that's why I don't go out past 12, because nothing, you can't get into any trouble if you're home before 12." And he wasn't talking about the situation, but immediately in my mind I said Breonna Taylor was sleeping. Okay? All right, so all these simplistic defenses of injustice, let's stop that. But anyway, For Our People, Breonna Taylor edition. We have not been able to meet at Hakim's Bookstore, 210 South 52nd Street, in between Walnut and Chancellor, since way back in March. But guess what? The green phase in Philadelphia is official. Princess Yvonne, Princess Y, Chris Arnold, the super producer. Shout out to Nefertiti Moore, all up in the store to make it happen. And we're so glad that one of the positive things that have come out of these protests, besides the illusory Aunt Jemima and all that other good stuff, there has been a real surge in interest in black books and black bookstores. So thank you all for calling Hakim's 215-474-9495 to order the books that you want instead of going to Amazon. Come down to that black bookstore. Check out the books that are there. Or even if you know exactly what you want, call the bookstore and ask them to order it. Email us, HakimsBookstore at HakimsBookstore.com. Hakim's Bookstore is on Facebook, HakimsBookstore.com, Hakim's Bookstore on Instagram. You want us, we can find it. You want it, we got it. You don't want it, we ain't got it. You want it, we ain't got it. We go get it for you. All right? Trying to keep it real. Oh, and also, if you are able, you can also check us out at the Hakim Bookstore Survive and Thrive Drive. Let's go to www.gofundme.com /Hakim's Bookstore. Donate what you can so we can do even more programs, so we can host authors, recategorize the kids selections to support homeschool parents. How about fixing up the second floor so maybe have a few more events up in here? We have to find ways for black bookstores to be more than just a sales portal, because that can happen online. It has to be the home of black intelligence throughout the country in those particular communities. All right? So, again, who am I? I'm Dre Smith. Andre Smith. I'm your host. Dre Smith, Smitty Bonton, West Philadelphia resident, born and bred since 1970. Central High School, Winfield, Bieber, Gompers, if we're going to go all the way that far. However, I did go out and run around and around the country for over 20 years. I taught at American Association Law School institutions. I taught at Howard University, Florida International, Widener, where else did I teach? Penn State. And so it's my job, after doing that for 15 years, to take the scholarship and the academics and the black intelligence that's cooped up in the ivory tower and bring it out here on the streets, bring it to the black bookstores, so that we can take what's known as black bookstores, black universities and colleges, black museums. We need to bring that stuff on to and be able to deliver it in a more efficient manner in this 21st century. Right? White supremacy is declining, right? So on one hand, protesting against white people is one thing, but we are going to find ourselves within the midst of a wide open global competition where Europeans or American is not necessarily on top. We got China basically on the top at this point, and we're not going to be just asking for them to treat us nicely. We're going to get our hands dirty and we're going to compete. We're going to better educate ourselves and our children. We're going to start and patronize black businesses. We're going to stop unduly criticizing each other so we can come together, right? Right. All right, so why are we not doing this on Monday? or I'm sorry, why have we not done it this past Monday? Because we are going to be back on this Monday, 3rd, 4th, 5th, July 6th. We will be back 11 a.m. in the store, right? Going to be broadcasting from in the store. But why aren't we there this week? Number one, I had to go check my peoples out. They are back in effect. Chris Arnold again, Princess Y, Yvonne Blake, Princess Glenda, everybody. But secondly, I also had the distinct pleasure of being interviewed by the Wall Street Journal, Market Watch. A guy named Andrew Keshner called. I was aware of the books that I've written, Taxes, Death, and Trouble, Black Tax, the relationship between tax law and racial economic justice, and asked me to comment on the George Floyd situation, the protests, the responses, and what tax policy all had to do with it. So I will let you guys know if and when that interview actually gets published. But let me just give you the bottom line, because after the interview was over, I felt a need to encapsulate it in a much shorter statement, because there's so many dynamics that do affect it. So I wanted to shorten it up. So I want to give to you what I gave to him before we talk about the books for this week. You know, that's really our purpose, is the books. But I just want to bend your ear on this issue about the connection between taxes and death, right? How Starve the Beast tax policy created the Black Lives Matter movement, right? So you have to pay attention to economics. Here we go. To the extent policing for profit, have you heard that term before? Policing for profit? To the extent policing for profit, which is disproportionately levied criminal justice fines and fees and civil asset forfeitures are designed, to the extent they are designed to raise revenue instead of protecting public safety, to the extent they're just trying to get money out of us here in the hood, in the city, instead of actually protecting what's going on and keeping people safe from crime. To the extent they are designed to raise revenue instead of protecting public safety, these civil criminal justice fines and fees and forfeitures constitute regressive and racist informal taxes for the purpose of filling budgetary gaps left by incessant starve the beast tax cuts over the last 30 to 40 years, the collection of which relies on the wanton exercise of arrest warrants, the whole of which has drastically increased hostile contact between police and the black communities they are supposed to serve, leading to more and more deaths at the hand of law enforcement. So that is how tax policy, the non-payment of taxes by wealthy white folks, is leading to death and despair for black folks. And when they say in the economy, when white people catch a cold, black people get a fever. So white people are out there protesting, but black people are out there dying. Neoliberals don't care about us. Neoconservatives are trying to kill us with this tax policy. More to the point, coupled with a recent spate of formal taxes on the urban poor and working class, basically sin taxes on sugar, remember the sugar tax, and cigarettes, and paid plastic bag taxes, predatory property tax assessments, federal, state, and local tax policy is structurally designed to exacerbate the racial wealth gap and reduce black people to a permanently subservient caste who must accept whatever employment is available regardless of paltry wages, the oppressive terms, or wretched conditions, placing black people on the front lines of dangerous wars against COVID, the war on drugs, or even the wars against foreign nations. We are always in the forefront because we are always the caste or class that can't afford to not take the lowest jobs on the totem pole. In this way, tax policy is not only tied to George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, but also the COVID-19 epidemic. These are the dynamics that I feel that all of us need to take away about tax, race, and the current situation, right? Okay, so that's my point about trying to take what we have learned in academia and in the halls of scholarship and libraries or whatever and bring it to the people. That the bottom line is this criminal justice, staying out of the system, is not about respectability. It is not about trying to impress white people. It is not about trying to get into heaven. It is about the fact that is how they try to keep us down in the system economically as a people, to take away our human, social, political, and financial capital. right? So that we are always, regardless of the freedom, regardless of the law, the economics of the situation is that we have to accept the worst that society has to offer, and they get the best that society has to offer. That's why, to combat this, again, we're going to better educate ourselves and our children, start and patronize black businesses, stop unduly criticizing. We're going to gain instead of waste human, social, political, and financial capital. All right, so that's the statement that what I was trying to convey to the Wall Street Journal. We'll see if it's produced that way. I wish they would just take this statement and publish it, but because sometimes, as you know, I ramble. All right. Now, before again we get to the books, let's talk about some good stuff. Shout out to all the good music that happened last week. The Roots Picnic, awesome online. The BET Awards, not just online, not just on BET, but also simulcast at CBS. Again, when times are hard, we are the entertainment, right? And we do it well. I'm not knocking it. Economically, we take advantage. We have to exploit our comparative advantages. It was Bobby Bonilla Day yesterday, right? He took he exercised his comparative advantage as an athlete and is now still getting $1.2 million from a contract that he signed in the 1990s, I believe. And he gets paid $1.2 million until every year until 2035, even though he hasn't played in 20 years, or at least 10 years, maybe 15. Right? So shout out to a brother that actually gamed the system to his benefit. One brother's lifelong assault on the racial wealth gap. So again, I'm not mad at the fact that we have been placed in this, one of our caste occupations is entertainment and music, but it is one that is fairly lucrative, not just here, but all around the world, where we can exploit that comparative advantage, where we can export that talent and then bring wealth from around the world back to our neighborhoods. I talked about I was just interviewed by the Wall Street Journal. That was wonderful. But I also have a program that I'm participating in on Saturday on 4th of July. Instead of a 4th of July barbecue, I will be participating in a panel called Blaxit, Blaxit. This is all about black folks interested in repatriating to Africa. What are the challenges? What are the benefits? What are the questions? I have not done so. I'm here in West Philly with you all. So I'm there to have a discussion, not necessarily to advocate one way or the other, although I do believe in my lifetime at a certain point we're going to make it back to the motherland. But the host that has invited me has done that already. You all in the Philadelphia area, you may remember Muhammada El Muhajir. We actually went to Central High School together. I believe she also attended Masterman. All 3 or 4 time all public cross country, women's cross country, women's track and field in the mile and the 2 mile. Awesome sister. Well, she is the one that has invited me. She has repatriated her. She now operates her business, Wax Print Media. Go check them out. Great marketing firm. And she has located herself and her business in Accra, Ghana. Right? So she has 2 offices, New York City and Accra, Ghana. And I think that's one of the things we're going to talk about is the fact that you can leave and with technology not even be gone. Right? You can move from the United States to Accra, Ghana and still have watched the Roots Picnic, the BET Awards, and also, oh, how could I forget, Fabulous versus Jadakiss on Versus TV. Woo! I thought it was closer than most people think. I think Fabulous's lyrical skills has always been underrated, although I understand Jada has hits for days. I was mad that after 40 songs, after 20 songs apiece, they still didn't play Make Me Better. They still didn't play Why. They still didn't play, what was Superwoman. Fab. In the first 10, you were getting sunned, and you did not drop Superwoman? You and Lil Mo? The beat on that is crazy. I know it's R&B. I know you was trying to represent Brooklyn. But come on, Superwoman? That beat is nuts, and your piece on that is fire. Little Mo kills it. That should have been one of the first 3 or 4 you dropped. All right, enough of that. But again, July 4th, Blagsit, Nee, some other guests, along with Muhammad El Muhajir as our host. Check for it. I'm going to post it on Facebook along in the comment section of this video, so you can know where to find us. If you're looking for us just off of this video, please find Wax Print Media. Wax, W-A-X, Print, P-R-I-N-T, Media. That's where you're going to find Muhammad El Muhajir and the program Blagsit, B-L-A-X-I-T. You can just search for that, B-L-A-X-I-T. I'm just having some fun, but Brexit is ill, Blagsit is something. Wait, if we're talking about taxes, let all these states go broke except for Texas, and you're going to see Texas. You're seeing American imperialism lessened around the world. Well, wait, and remember the Soviet Union broke apart very quickly, and the essence of it will be certain states will be well off financially, while other states within this 50-state union will be hurt financially and having their hands out begging. And some of the states, especially the larger, more successful ones, Florida, Texas, perhaps California, may have a choice in whether or not they're going to extend a hand. Texas has oil, water, a coastline. They were their own nation before. Right? So if you think Brexit is ill, if you think Blagsit is something, wait till we see Texas in, I don't know, 2, 5, 10, 20 years. Whew, my daughter lives in Texas. I hope if it ever happens, I hope it's peaceful. Shout out to Ed Roseman and the kids from those from Black Kids Swim. BlackKidsSwim.com, Philadelphia. We know all about black swimmers, right? We know about Gustine Lake and all that other stuff. What was the movie? The name of the movie about the black Philadelphia swimmers, Mr. Ellis and all that. I forget the name, but there is a program being developed about black kids in the United States being trained up to participate in a swim contest at Gorée Island off of Senegal. A lot of people know the slave castles outside of Ghana, but there's also a slave castle outside of Senegal, and we've reclaimed that history and are turning it into a festival. And there's a swim that 3.5 miles of ocean swim from there to the shoreline, and it's a competition, it's a festival. And a lot of black folks, we want to go back to Africa, but we don't want to go to a safari. We're not going just so that we can stretch our arms out, see the sun, and say this is the homeland. We want to actually, again, vacation, have fun, meet with the people under a circumstance that is enjoyable, right? That's how we go to the Caribbean. That's how we go to Brazil. That's what we're going to go to Africa for. And then once we're there, we meet our people and we fall in love. That's when we're going to stay, right? And make connections to trade with. Right? Anyway, we can go on and on and on and on. July 4th, Blagsit, Wax Print Media, Muhammad El Muhajir, Andre Smith, other participants as well. All right, you ready to talk about books? That's the whole point of this show, is to talk about new books that have come out in the last week. So when we get back in the store, we'll talk about the books that have come into the store from different publishers, especially from an Afrocentric theme. But right now, we're focused on the books from the Journal of Blacks in Higher Education and their weekly book list. And they put out 3 this week. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 7. So we got 3 books to review this week. Macbeth in Harlem, Black Theater in America from the Beginning to Raisin in the Sun by Clifford Mason. This is published by Rutgers University Press. And this is from the book. In 1936, Orson Welles, you guys remember Orson Welles, the big dude? Again, you might not know him if you're not as old as I am. I turned 50 last month, right? This is what 50 looked like. I'm bragging for sure. In 1936, Orson Welles directed a celebrated all-black production of Macbeth that was hailed as a breakthrough for African Americans in the theater. I wonder was Paul Robeson in that? Who was in that? That was dope. For over a century, black performers had fought for the right to perform on the American stage, going all the way back to an 1820 Shakespearean troupe that performed Richard III, Othello, and Macbeth without relying on white patronage. Lovely. Macbeth in Harlem tells the story of these actors and their fellow black theatrical artists from the early 19th century to the dawn of the Civil Rights era. This sounds awesome, right? Macbeth in Harlem tells the story of these actors, the ones that produced stuff before Orson Welles integrated us into the system. Ooh, good stuff, good stuff. All right, secondly, there's Terrell Alvin McCraney, theater, performance, and collaboration. You see the theme here going on? Terrell, this is not the author, this is the subject of the book, who I did not know. Again, we all learned something through this. Terrell Alvin McCraney, theater, performance, and collaboration, edited by Sherelle D. Luckett and others out of Northwestern University Press. Contributors consider McCraney's innovations as a playwright, adapter, director, performer, teacher, and collaborator, bringing fresh and diverse perspectives to their observation and analyses. In so doing, they expand and enrich the conversations on his much celebrated and deeply resonant body of work, which again was news to me. I mean, good news to me, which includes the plays, and I have to find these: Choir Boy, Head of Passes, Miss Black for President, The Breach, Wig Out, and the critically acclaimed trilogy, The Brother Sister Plays, the Brother Sister Plays in the Red and Brown Water, The Brothers Size, and Marcus, or The Secret of Sweet, as well as the Oscar Award-winning film Moonlight, which was based on his play Moonlight Black Boys Look Blue. This person, why does this person have a channel? You know, I was talking to somebody else again with this Instagram. We talk about Versus TV. We're talking about Quelly TV. A brother such as this, Terrell Alvin McCraney, who I was not aware of, and I got to be honest, I have not seen Moonlight. I heard of the movie, and I know that it won an Oscar and all that. I have not seen it, but it would be so interesting for these folks, again, under DJ Scratch TV, Versus TV, hip-hop leading the way, that black entertainers such as this could have their own portal to put out their own work. Now, I did teach sports and entertainment law, but I gotta admit, the copyright protections and scope of protections and their commercial licensing is something I'm not as familiar with regard to the practice when it comes to drama, when it comes to plays, when it comes to the theater, right? More so movies, more so music and television. Very interesting with the theater, and whether this brother or someone associated with this brother can recapture all those copyrights and actually produce these plays in a way that's more accessible to us and also more lucrative to them, for sure. All right, the third book that came out this week, again dealing with theater and sort of black high culture, The Essential Clarence Major, Prose and Poetry by Clarence Major, University of North Carolina Press. Every time I talk about poetry, I got to give a shout out to two Philadelphians, Tanya, I'm sorry, I don't know if Tanya Evans, two Philadelphians, Tanya M. Evans. She's also a law professor. Where is Tanya right now? I know she was at Widener Harrisburg. I know she's not there anymore. But she's not just intellectual property law. She is a published author of poetry. Have one of her books in the bookstore at Hakim's, 210 South 52nd Street. Pick it up. All my law professors out there, pick it up. But also shout out to Major Jackson. This is Clarence Major. Shout out to Philadelphia's own Major Jackson, graduate, 1987, Central High School. Often does shows of poetry and sound with DJ King Britt. And you may know DJ King Britt, who is affiliated with Questlove and the Roots Crew. So from the Roots Crew, Questlove, we get King Britt. From King Britt and Master Victor Duplay and all you guys, we get Major Jackson. From Major Jackson, we move all the way over here to Clarence Major. So 4 degrees of separation. So those are the great books that have come out in the Journal of Blacks in Higher Education. We're going to cut this short because we're so excited to prepare for this weekend's panel, Blagsit. Check out Wax Print Media. Look for IT. Come join us in the Zoom program. I think there's 175 seats available. Ask your questions. Hear the folks talk about what it may mean, positive and perhaps negative, when we talk about repatriating Africa. But other than that, we are back in the store on Monday. We're back in Hakim's Bookstore, 210 South 52nd Street between Walnut and Locust. But until then, remember, Black Friday. Shop at black-owned institutions or not at all. Save your money. Better educate ourselves and our children. Start and patronize black businesses and institutions. Stop unduly criticizing each other and promoting the myth of black inferiority. That is the revolution that will not be televised. See you guys on Monday. Hotep.